What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Got some crazy news in this video. We actually have some new checks, some new stimulus checks that were passed, $500 and $1,000. And the stock market is just crumbling. We're going to go over all that in this video. It's completely crazy right now. The stock market has been crushed yet again. And one single stock sent the market tumbling. And everybody's wondering, is our economy just crumbling right now? That's right. Target, the company Target, just got absolutely demolished and lost 25% of its value, roughly, in one single day. Yeah, this is as Target missed their earnings reports and got completely crushed. Lost 25% of its company value in one day. This is as April retail sales came in higher than expected, showing that retail sales were doing well. Yet Target's retail sales apparently weren't and sent the stock market tumbling. Yeah, the Dow Jones, after having multiple days in a row of up days, and a lot of people thought maybe a bottom was in here. Oh no. The largest drop the largest one-day drop since June of 2020. And this was just a day after Walmart shares fell by the most in one day since 1987. This is just a lot of people are very, very skittish on the economy right now. But if you're a long-term investor, as I said, it's a good time to buy, because you buy low and sell high, or you buy low and hold, because over time the market goes up. If you're like over 50% of Americans that have money in the stock market, in your 401k, in your pension, in your IRAs, you look at what the market does over time, and this is where your money grows. 30 years ago, the Dow Jones was at 3,200. Now it's at almost 32,000. That means your money grew by 10 times. All this short-term volatility is normal. And if anything, this one-year chart shows that it's a good time to buy. It's a one-year low. And we had actually had multiple kind of up days here. The last several days, we had been on an up chart until yesterday. Wow, the bottom kind of fell out on that. And a lot of people have us wondering, is this economy going to be able to sustain? Is inflation too hot? Is this inflation too much for the economy to bear? People are struggling so much with inflation, and how long is this inflation going to go on? And there's all these other factors like food costs, gas costs, the war, which is going to continue to keep gas costs and food costs and things like this high. As long as that goes on, it's just going to help keep these external factors and external costs high. And if you look at Putin, it's just there's these rumors on whether or not Putin has cancer. There's a coup to remove him. It's hard to know what is real, what is not coming out of Russia until we find out legitimately, right? And if something does happen to Putin, would Russia just continue on with whoever replaces him, if that ever even happens, right? And how long would this happen? Would this just continue on for another year or more? Will the USA get dragged into this war? You think about the amount of money that USA is sending for Ukraine, for munitions and military supply and et cetera, et cetera. If the US gets pulled into this war, we'll spend 10, 100 times the amount of money we're spending now. Yeah, it'll be a drop in the bucket compared to if we're actually in the war. And don't even think about the amount of lives that could be in there. American lives, for what I mean, actually. All right, let's go over several different checks here. Brand new information here coming out. Let's jump in. Okay, first up, the state of Missouri has passed $500 and $1,000 checks. That's right. Remember, I had been telling you, I've been keeping you guys updated here on these, and I now have official word here that they have passed these. Remember, there had been Democrat and Republican proposals going back and forth here. And as you can see here, directly from the Kansas City Beacon, I have some more states coming here after this. Many Missourians can expect tax rebate checks, stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, whatever you want to call them, pretty much the same thing, up to $500 thanks to state surplus. Remember, almost every single state has state surplus here at this point, thanks to the last stimulus package and because people are going back to work. Unemployment is near a 50-year low, and due to inflation. Remember that this is kind of part of the recessionary cycle. The rebate is part of a $49 billion budget that has passed, a $49 billion budget that will set aside dollars for Missourians to get up to a $500 tax credit check per person. Per person. Yeah. Many households in the state can now expect a one-time tax rebate that is now passed. Honestly, a lot of these states have enough money that this could come again, whether it's next year, later in the year. I've seen some states, I think it's Maine. I don't know. There's a couple different states that have passed more than one-time things just to keep you up to date here, and stimulus packages as well. Missouri lawmakers have finalized a plan to set aside $500 million of the state's general revenue to return to taxpayers through a tax credit. The rebate is part of a record-setting $49 billion budget pumped up with federal pandemic relief funds. Individual income filers will receive up to $500, while joint filers can expect to receive $1,000. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? I mean, it's really almost as much as the $600 stimulus checks from the federal government. Those were $600, these are $500 per person. Missourians eligible for the tax credit must have earned less than $150,000 as individuals and $300 as married couples. And honestly, they really could have lowered that. I mean, if you make $150,000 to $300,000 as a person or a married couple, they really could have lowered that. They really could have. That's quite high. The state will credit taxpayers $1 back for every $1 paid in taxes, up to $500. The bill is part of a package of legislation that will dictate Missouri's spending for the 2023 fiscal year. So far in 2022, Governor Mike Parson has only signed one bill into law. He has until July 1st to sign legislation for the upcoming year. He may have signed it into law already, just as of this article. I don't have that yet. Senate Majority Leader for the state, Chairman Dan Hedgeman, a Republican, also chairs the Senate Budget Committee, carried the upper chamber of the bill and pointed to inflation as rising costs of the reasons for the rebate, saying, "I think it's important that we recognize that these are working Missourians who have paid state income tax, of which we have an abundance, and to me, that is the right thing to do in that scenario is to return it to them, especially in times of inflation and increased prices just for about everything these folks are buying." Elsewhere in the budget, they also raised starting teacher salaries to 38,000, which is actually below the median income, which is over $50,000 a year now. Something Parson listed as one of his budget goals. Missouri's starting teacher salary was recently found to be the 50th lowest in the nation, with its current minimum at 25,000. Though all districts in the metro area already meet the 38,000 salary mark. They also funneled $1 billion to payments to medical providers and $2.5 billion to expanded enrollment in Medicaid. They also funded some infrastructure projects, including $411 million for water infrastructure and lead pipe removal, and $250 million for broadband. Some of that might be due to the infrastructure package as well that had passed recently. So again, this is for the state of Missouri. They can You can be expecting $500 stimulus checks or tax rebate checks here soon. I'll keep you up to date on when. Also, for the state of New Jersey, there has been a proposal for $1,500 rebate checks, stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, whatever you want to call them here. You can see here, quote, New Jersey families are struggling with soaring prices and inflation, and Republicans have proposed $1,500 rebate checks to be returned to more than 4 million families in New Jersey this spring. The Murphy administration must commit to giving back at least this $1,500 to 4 million families this spring. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, is a Democrat, so Republicans are kind of calling on him to do that. Senate Republicans have proposed a pair of give it back tax rebates that would return $1,500 of over collections of New Jersey families as an added income tax refund returnable this spring. The rebate would be automatically sent out to every income tax filer without the need for applications, bureaucracy, or delay. Saying, quote, my Republican colleagues and I can't support a budget unless 4 million families receive $1,500 of direct relief this spring to help combat the pain caused by overtaxation, soaring gas prices, and inflation, said a Republican senator. Since announcing yesterday that there was more than $9 billion of tax over collections in the state of New Jersey in the current year, all we have heard from the administration and Democratic leaders is that maybe if people are good boys and girls, can't make this stuff up, guys. That's why I'm reading it here. And again, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, so just literally reading it right here. They might return a little more through the governor's newly renamed and woefully inadequate anchor rebate program. The main Give It Back tax rebate proposal by Senate Republicans would return $1,000 back to New Jersey families as soon as it is enacted. A second bill, called the Gas Price and Tax Inflation Credit Act, would provide another $500 tax rebate when this spring, I think that's worded wrong, to provide families with an additional relief to counter record high gas prices and highest inflation in 4 decades. Yeah, like I said, a lot of states, cities, and counties are one by one figuring out that they have a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars, and all pretty much saying, we need to do something with this money and hopefully give it back to the people on the state level and hopefully the federal level here as well. Remember, we have seen 3 stimulus checks. We've had extra SNAP benefits. We might see student loan forgiveness. We've had student loan payments paused for over 2 years. And we've just had a Democratic proposal for another stimulus check. I'll link you to that video here if you didn't see that yet. Really big news on that. And we just had a Republican say that we need stimulus checks here as well. That's in that same video. So we actually have a lot going on here. We've had a lot of states that have already passed stimulus checks here as well. So I'll link you to two really good videos if you haven't seen them yet. But really, I think a lot of states, I think one by one, states are going to probably start passing stimulus checks. And I would not be surprised, just like California passed their stimulus checks last year with $600 per person. Married couples, $1,200 again per person, $600, and with children, got an extra $500. And then this year they're considering as well another one, just depending on how they're going to do it. I think a lot of states, because they have so much money, probably will start doing this going forward, maybe for the next couple years, just depending on how much money each state has and how long it lasts going forward, hopefully for a long time. I'll keep you up to date here on all these different plans, states, federal, everything, as well as what's going on here with our country. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. It's completely free to do so. Just click the subscribe button and then click the bell icon that appears next to the subscribe button so you get notified when we go live, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to see my new video that just came out with the fourth stimulus check bill just introduced in the Senate and the proposal by the Republicans. And this is the bill with other states that have bills that have passed here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.